how to access elements of an array using pointers. That's what we are going to see now. Suppose that we have a declaration in our program as integer a 5. It means that we have declared an array of integers with 5 elements If we draw this array, then this is the array, this is the name of the array, this is the first element, 0, second element, third element, fourth element, and the fifth element. Let us suppose that we have entered different values as 7, 9, 15, 20, and 25. Let us suppose that these are the elements, and these elements located in A0, A1, A2 till A5. This is not A5, A2, this is A3 and A4, it is up to A4, and these elements are 7, 9, 15, A3 is equals to 20, and this is 25. We want to access these elements with the help of a pointer, and this A itself, the name of the array is considered as a pointer. So what does this mean? This A, integer A5, is equivalent to integer star A. If this is a star, it implies that A is a pointer. If it is a pointer, then A holds address. So which address A holds? If I see this array, suppose that the address of the first byte is 100, address of the second element will be 104, assuming one integer uses 4 bytes. Then third element will be 108, fourth one will be 112, last one will be 116. If I say the address held by A, because A holds an address, then address of A, or A holds the address 100, which is the address of the first byte of the of the array. It is also known as A is equals to ampersand of A0. It means that A holds the address of the first element, address of the first element. In both the cases, value of A will be 100. Now, suppose that we have another pointer which is defined as integer star x, and x is pointing to a variable somewhere here. Let us suppose that this is p and it is having value 6. Then if I want to extract this element, then I have to say star of x. If I say star of x, it indicates that star of x equals to 6. If I say x, then it will tell the address of this x. That means x equals to 400 and star of x is equals to 6. Means using star we can access the content, without using star we can access the address. Now the question is how to access these elements of the array using a pointer. As I have told that the A itself is a pointer. A itself is a pointer. A is a pointer, and this pointer points to the first element of the array. First element of the array. Now if I want to access the first element of the array, I can say star of A. If I say star of A, it means that star of the address which is pointing by A0. If I say that, then it will give you the value 7. But if I want to access the second element, what I need to do, I can do star A plus 1, right? So if I do this, then I will get the value 9. If I say star A plus 2, I will get 15. Star A plus 3, I will get 20, and star A plus 4 will give us 25. So if I write down the first element as star of A plus 0 is equals to, it will give you 7. And what we can write, we can generalize it as star of A plus I will give you elements of the array, provided I varies from, for all I equals to 0 till 5 till 4. 0 till 4. So if this is the case, then what we can do, we can write down one small for loop for I is equals to 0, I is less than 5, I plus plus. Then I can write down printf %d star of A plus I. If I do this, then it will print all the elements of the array using a pointer. Let us see whatever we have explained with the help of a program. To do that, let me write down a small C code. For that, I am writing a small program here. Include stdio.h. Then I am declaring the main program here, and let me write down a small comment end of main, and then I will go to the beginning and I will write a small comment start of main. Then let me declare one array A and say 5 elements, and again along with the declaration let me initialize some values here, 1, 2, 5, 6 and 7. So total 5 elements will be stored in the array. Now I'll write a simple for loop. For that I need one variable I. Here let me define one variable, declare one variable I here, and I will write a for loop. And in a for loop I will write I equals to 0, I less than 5, then I plus plus, which will continue the for loop, and then I will write a printf statement, and in the printf statement I will write down to extract the element or fetch the element from the array, %d. Then let me give some space, and then I'll write star a of star a plus I. If I do this, and here printf, what happened? Printf is invalid. Printf, printf, printf. Okay, so if I execute this program, I will execute this program, and then it's showing all the elements printed here: 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. So these are the elements printed. It means that it can be used, the pointer can be used to extract elements of the array. Now there are few important points that we need to state here. The name of the array, is a pointer. So that pointer can be used to access the element. Now let us modify this code. And suppose I don't want to use the name of the array as a pointer to access elements. Rather, what I will do, I will declare another pointer, integer star p. It's a pointer, and then I will be initializing p equals to a. So p equals to a, what it will do, it will have the same value. For example, if a is this array, A is pointing here, and these are elements of the array. When I say also we have a pointer p, and this pointer need to be pointed to some memory location. How I am initializing here in this statement, I am initializing p is equals to a. As I have told you that p will have the value of a. Let us suppose this location is 100, then 104, then 108, then 112, 116. These are the addresses. If I say p equals to a, that means p will be equals to 100. If this is the initialization for p, then p will be pointing to this location. So if I say star of p, then it will give you this value. What is given here? 2. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. These are elements. So if I say star p, then it will extract, it will get the value 1. Now if this is the case, then what I can do, I can write down, instead of writing a, I can write down here p. I can write down p, and if I execute this, the same thing should happen as earlier. Let me execute this. The same thing is happening as earlier. All the elements of the array is showing. But here, what I can do extra here, let us say, let's block this statement. Let this block this statement and rewrite the statement as print. Rewrite the statement. I'll just copy it. YY, then p, so this is copied. Now I will do here, delete this line. What I will do, I will write down p plus I. I am writing here p plus I. Instead of p plus I, let me do one thing. Let me remove this bracket. Remove this bracket. And here I will write down p plus plus. Let me do p plus plus. And I'll give one curly bracket here. I'll close this loop. Here, since there are more than one statement, so I must have to give one curly bracket and let it be like this here. And let me see whether it executes the same way or not. Let me clear this screen and go here and execute. The same thing is happening. That means here what I am doing. Let me check the code execution. Let me check the code execution, how it is executing. First of all, the p is pointing to this element, and with value of I equals to 0, it is coming here and it is printing 1. This is star p. Now p is incremented. While I do p plus plus, which is equals to p plus 1, then the value of p, earlier the value of p was 100. Now, as a result of p equals to p plus 1 or p plus plus, the value of p will be 100 plus 4, which is equals to 104. That's why this p will no longer be pointing to 100, rather it will be now pointing to this one. Then it will repeat the loop and it will print the star p, but now star p is pointing to 2. That's why it is printing the second element. Again, that will be repeated and p will be again incremented by p plus 1, which is equal to 104 plus 4. Why it is adding 4 every time? Because it is assuming that this integer will take 4 bytes to store the data. So the number will be incremented by the number of bytes occupied by the data. So that's why it is now 108. Then it will go here. This pointer will be now this place. It will print 15, not 15, 5. Then it will go on and it will print 7. And it will repeat for 5 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it will print all the elements. So one question may come to our mind, since p and the a both are pointing to the same location initially, and I have used a first. I have used a first to access the value of the array, where I give a plus I, but later on what I did star p and I have incremented p plus plus. Now is it possible to do somehow, say suppose that I am giving here a, because a and p are same, but after that if I say a plus plus, will it work? So I can see here it will not work. That means I can access elements using the pointer a, which is the name of the array, but for that I have to use secondary one more variable to increment the value. I cannot increment the value of a itself. Okay, let me tell in another way. If I say a plus I, what I did earlier, I did a plus I. A plus I didn't say a equal to a plus I or a equals to a plus 1. I told, instead of that I have specified a plus I. So if I value is 1, then it will be 100 plus 1, which is actually 104. This 1, incrementing 1 to the pointer, increment it with the size of the data type. Then if I say a plus 2, because I is varying from 1 to 5, a plus 2, then it gives a is the value of a remains same, plus since I am using plus 2, that's why it will be 100 plus 2 into 4, which is equals to 8, and that gives you 108. 108 indicates this one. But if I see very carefully, a is same as earlier, this is a. And if I do a equals to a plus 1 or a plus plus, anything I want to do, the compiler complains. Compiler complains. Why it is so? Compiler complains. You can see it will tell cannot increment value of type integer 5. This error message is not that very easy to understand. However, this is because a is considered as a constant. A is considered as a constant, means the name of the array, this is a constant pointer. It means that any constant in a program cannot be changed, or value of a constant cannot be changed. Since a is a constant and this value holds 100, we cannot change the value of a to some other value like 104 or 108 or anything else. So that's why it is complaining that a cannot be incremented. But of course I can do a plus I, but I am not doing a equals to a plus I. This is not allowed. However, a plus I is allowed, where the value of a is not changing. It is not only adding and using it, but it is not changing the original value of a. It remains same. And that is why it is said that the name of the array indicates a constant pointer, which points to the first location of the array. And this is the reason if I want to access the array, mostly either I will be using this type of format, or I'll be using a dummy variable which points to the first element of the array. Then after that I can increment that dummy pointer, because I have never declared the pointer p as a constant, p simply as a pointer. But instead of that, what I can do, if I say this p, if I declare p as integer constant p, if I do that and I want to do the statement here p and p plus plus, okay, if I do this, then it's not complaining. Okay, let me check. If I do this way, then is it complaining? No. Constant star integer star p, like this. Is it like this? Star p. So if I say yes, if I declare p as a simple pointer, star p integer, means p is a pointer that points to integer, then I can assign value of a to p and I can make use of p to access various elements. However, if I write this statement as constant star pointer, means I mean to say is a p is a constant pointer to integer, and in that case if I say p equals to a, now it is complaining. It means, so now if I declare p as a constant pointer, then that time I won't be able to use p to access elements. It is not allowing to assign any value to p because it is a constant, and constant cannot be changed during the execution of the program. So that is the difference between a constant pointer and a pointer variable. This pointer, if I remove this part, it becomes a variable. If it is a variable, I can change the value of p. That means I can change the pointer p from one location to another. That's why it is allowing, and I can access all the elements from the array using this pointer p. So we have found two methods to access elements using pointer. Either we can use the name of the array, which is itself is a pointer, or we can use one dummy parameter or dummy variable where we will keep the address of the first element of the array, or what I can do in that case, we can use p and p could be incremented. However, name of the array, if we use to access elements as a pointer, then we cannot change the value of a, because the name of the array represents a constant pointer to the array.